Hello and welcome back. Also, I am stuck. I'm trying to get this video started, but I figure I just got to do it. So we've got our goal right now is explore the cell. We're focused on sessions. Um, the KPI is 1,000 sessions across all mini games. So ideally, we gotta kick this off ASAP. We'll go into attract mode and we'll just reflect as all the games get played. So 126 games. That means if we can run through all of them a few times, that will get us to our 1,000 mark. If we do this like 7 more times. So, all right, Big Bang. That's one thing. But what do we have here, right? Like, quite frankly, I think Big Bang as one of the games to play is super. It's basic, but it gets the job done. Like, I don't hate the graphics either. Maybe I would change the star a little bit, or like I like the sun, but I guess right now we're just going to reflect on what we've got here. So now we've got bit memory. We've seen this one before. Okay, one thing that we noticed, I noticed that in bit memory there is a modal that pops up with text and a gradient on the button. This element does not have good spacing, contrast, or it does not have good spacing. I think we want to revisit that particular component. I think in the game bit memory. So what I don't want to do is approach this from the perspective of like, okay, I don't want to approach this as like I'm working on other stuff and then I'm going to come back to this. I really want to focus on this for the last stretch of this moon. We've got 6 days left. So really one of these days I'm going to have to do 2 sessions, which isn't a big deal, but I mean 125 games at a minute long each, maybe a little bit longer. That is about 2 hours to get through all of them. I kind of want like a skip button because I would count this as a session right here. I'm satisfied with this game. I like this game. Corners, I think it's similar to the Big Bang one. It's also in one of like the beginner games. I have it set up so that at the beginning it's these like basic shapes, but very soon I think it's going to start showing us like platonic solids. Let's see if that pops up the way I intended. It should be halfway through. It should force one. Yep, we have the 4-sided pyramid. The So yeah, the way this game is supposed to work is every time you click it, it restarts the counter. And if you get the number right, you get the most amount of points. If you get the number wrong, you don't get the right amount of points. So the technique would be like as one pops up, you tap on it, but make sure that you're paying attention to how many times you're tapping it, obviously. But okay. But like as you're tapping them, you're resetting the timer as they go. So maybe you would double tap the one you're focused on at first. If you could split your focus, even better. Now we have whose idea. I don't know most of these. Heliocentrism, the center of the universe. Nicholas Capernaum, I think it was. This one's going too fast, but we kind of want it to go fast in order to get through all the games, just to make sure that we can do this. And so we made some changes to our dashboard as well. We have, I think whatever our focus is should be front and center. So we've got Summer 2026, Hot Potato Games. We're on the first moon of this summer. We are in the waning phase. We are game first plus what is game first plus platform time? I don't know why AI did this. But bring explore the cell development to a close. Yeah, in the next 3 days we really want to. And I guess I hate to like say this was a project that we wanted to share with a ton of people and it's going to just become a learning experience. The scope creep on it was real. Originally, I was like, oh, 22 scales, that's 22 games. But then I'm like, I played some of the games and I'm like, these games aren't cutting it for me. What is this? Function. That's a class. Obviously, it says class. That is a variable declaration. That's a class. It should be saying language. It does say it up here. So with peak development was the full moon. Now land it in drive, play. Oh, maybe I'm kind of in the way here, aren't I? Let me see if I can shrink myself. Beep, 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 beep. We don't want to shrink too much because of the clipping that's going to happen. Maybe I go up here. I can go up here. No, it'll. I think Opus will mess with that. I hope this is enough. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so like even this game, oh, okay, it does get more complicated. That's one of the key tenets to these games. They're supposed to get more complicated as time goes on. So Explore the Cell is what, like we've got 126 games now. Some of them might be a little similar. I would probably put like there's probably like 80 what I would say playable games or games that I would incorporate in here. And we're also okay, what language declares the function? Oh, so this is language, which HTTP. Oh, we got it wrong. So the but like quite frankly, I'm satisfied with this. I got to do some like checking to make sure that all these are accurate. But what I like about this is like it's functioning, it's educational in some way. If you play with people, like I think you could like if you sent someone through all of these games, I think you can get a pretty cool evaluation of someone's like the breadth of their understanding with regard to like all of these realms of thought. And it's Explore the Cell, so I'm considering every scale a cell. All right, so yeah, we had this previous video. I sent a couple of messages and it cost me $20 in 10 minutes. I had to refill my account twice before I even started recording. So let me teach you the thing that saved me, because it'll matter the second you start to use real AI tools. You start using AI tools for real. I definitely read that yesterday. Um, in retrospect, I made like that. So we have every moon phase has a particular KPI, but even on top of that, there is this notion of maybe what I should do is every week there's a different there could be a different KPI for that. So there's one objective, explore the structure is projects. We have projects, which is potato. I like this game Collider too. It does make it more complicated. Excellent. So we have potatoes, which is the bucket. Then we have Explore the Cell, potatoes. No, we have Hot Potato Games, Potatoes the e-commerce site, Potato Literature, and Potato Core, which is this, as like 4 verticals. So we have the bucket and then 4 smaller projects because of the seasons. We have one project that encompasses all of the seasons. And in a way, potatoes should therefore, oh, something just clicked for me. For a while, I've been operating like, okay, potatoes is this e-commerce platform, but I also want there to be comics where it's like an org chart, or like there's members of a potato business that are trying to like monetize their own existence. And then I'm like, well, that's more of like written, but I'm like, potato literature is supposed to be like this. There's these 3 stories, down the hole, into the void, and through the aether, that are like these stories that I'm building. But then the left side of this, what am I talking about? Potato literature. Then there's like Odie's epic, which is Odie O'Doul hath been a fool, soaked in drool he dreamt of jewels, Om the bull who had consumed the sky, whisked away into the potato's mind. That doesn't come until autumn. And then there's Potato Core, which I think is like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But really, it was just getting the YouTube habit of like recording videos. That habit has been able to yield all of this. See, I like this game too. What we're really trying to do is identify games that I don't like. I want there to be a game that pops up where I'm like, this one's really weak, or I don't understand what's happening, or I think the graphics are really bad. Of course, all of these, I think I can do a bit of an overhaul, as well as like a cohesion check, which is a pass I will do with all the AI systems to like, I give them a document where it's like the rules or spec sheet that's like, make sure all of these patterns match with what we're working on. But I'm just confident that there's tons of games in here that I think suck that I'm waiting to like see them. That's why we're just watching it play right now. So yeah, I'm exploring this notion of like objectives. I want every objective to have one primary KPI that we're focused on. Like when I'm really focused on the extra, I like this game too, Molecule Mixer. I think this is a good one. With regard to Explore the Cell, we wanted to go with sessions because that means that I've gone through the game. If I go through the game, I know I'm going to make the games better, or at least I might increase the scope, which is a problem. Maybe some of my KPIs should be like, don't add any more games than this. Like, we're exceeding a number is a bad thing. I haven't considered that. I want reviews of these. Oh, I have to review the educational components of these things. What's cool about that one though is I could just go over here and go into the live version, go to learn. I did recently spawn, like this is new. I don't remember. I didn't put this in like some agent did. But I did spawn off an agent that went through all of the different learning sessions and was supposed to. It didn't really do it. Maybe it didn't deploy it. Let's see what. I think it's 25 we're on. Yeah, we're on 25. So that's disappointing. Maybe some of them did it. What am I looking for? I'm looking for like a revamp of the educational component. Something doesn't even have. Okay, it does. All right. It's just, what am I clicking on? When I click on that, it works. But when I click on this, I'm clicking on this and nothing's happening. Do I have to click on this? Nope. If I click on this, that one works. So there's a bug there. Okay, for some reason, okay, for some, Yumatsu. For some reason, when I click on the something card in an effort to learn more, nothing happens. I have to click on the bottom left of the card. That is not desirable. I should be able to click anywhere. Also, there's a, let's see what game we're playing. Okay, another quiz game, satisfactory. Also, the nothing and something backgrounds. Also, the nothing and something backgrounds on the learn carousel are all remarkably mid. They need to be more exciting. I think for nothing, having a sub agent build an animation of the Big Bang or an explosion of light followed by molecules and atoms, and it zooms out to like a cell, then zooms out to like a potato, then to a farm system, to a planet, to a solar system, to a galaxy. I think that would suffice for the nothing one. Then for the something one, I think we should. What would we want for the something one? The something animation, because the something one's, it's empty. And for the something animation, we just want to say this would replace the question marks. Then for the something one, what is something? What is something? We should have, like, what is something? I'm thinking like, I want, maybe like computers, like I think we should have clusters of angled components all representing something in some way. Maybe like clusters of thought bubbles, binary ones and zeros, hexadecimal, platonic solids, or platonic forms, I think. Platonic forms. Just something more interesting than emptiness. Our other animations are pretty cool. I like the tangent one. Like particles, I'm satisfied with that. Atoms, I think we could do better with atoms too. I think the atoms one can do better as well. Also, I am very confused with why we haven't expanded the learning / educational components that are in the app. We have previously expressed the desire to increase in scope what is on each by using sub-agents for each to expand on the learning module's complexity. It should be self-contained so it won't impact other ones. but each of them need this treatment. Did we ever? Is there any evidence of us working on this? Because it's bothering me. Like, it's just 5 right here. What do we have? Hydrogen, like, for atoms, like, for atoms, shouldn't we have all the atoms? Why do we have so few? Why can't we capture them all? For particles, can't we have them all? That stuff's confusing me. Something, yeah, I can't click it for some reason. Now molecules, okay. We're at 16 games layer builder. See, this one I think is kind of mid. I'm just going to capture that somewhere. We're going to say game rankings.md1. We're going to say mid games. Number 1 for mid is the layer builder. Layer builder is layer builder. We're just going to say layer builder. It's pretty mid. I mean, like, it did get more complicated when it started giving all these like unique ones. Before it was just like 3 different ones, being 3 different things to memorize. Quite frankly, I think I'm going to keep it because Medea, Adventitia, Leaf, Vein. Okay, that one was there for a while. Root, that one was there. But these, we need more. Molecules. I feel like for molecules, for molecules, shouldn't the learning have more molecules? Shouldn't it better describe each molecule and how they relate to each other? Proteins, molecular machines, cool. All right, organelles, nucleotides. When I click organelles, that image is weird. What, like, how come when I click organelles, why is it that when I click organelles, the animations are all the same for the square at the top of the view? Shouldn't each organelle have its own little animation like in the other system, like in the other scales? All right, orbit catch, I don't like those. To orbit catch, I don't like the designs. Really, for anyone that's in this system. Like, I mean, okay, it's got this shining reflective light. It's got the spinning loop on it. It just feels so lifeless. It like definitely looks AI generated, if you ask me. So yeah, we're gonna speak poorly on that one. But okay, it does at least have all of the organelles that I had in mind. There might be more. I'm not sure. Then we have cells. Maybe it started here. No, there's only 5. Well, why do we only have 5 cells? Why are there only 5 cells? I would love to come in here and learn about neurobiology. I am wondering if I am not structuring this properly either. Do you think that we should have an intermediary space for each scale that allows for modules and different for modules so that it's somewhat like a learning system if someone was playing the game and got curious? I also have, okay, failed safety measures flag this for secure. So This flag may be safe, normal content as well. Those measures bring us Mythos level capability. We'll refine them. It's funny. I remember reading about that as an issue. They were saying that Fable 5 is like what they've really just revealed is how easy it is. Okay, Pursuit as well. 3 Pursuit designs stink. What they're really revealing is that it's really easy to build dangerous biological systems, and that these AI systems, like I never would have. They're revealing how easy it is to build these things, which is, I think, more dangerous than just like allowing maybe some basic biochemistry. Because now someone sees that and they're like, all right, well, if I save up $5,000, I can buy a pretty decent machine that can use a jailbroken, maybe not even $5,000, $500. I can make a, not a jailbroken, but like one of the open source AI models. I can use that open source AI models to make biochemical stuff that apparently is dangerous, because the stuff that it's showing is just like indicating that it's dangerous. By preventing us from doing the simple things, it's revealing that we're in a place now that's like very dangerous for, I mean, didn't I just hear like a stomach parasite going around? Yeah, crazy stuff, man. Cyclospora. Okay, perfect. So technically we're still this is still the I don't know what I'm doing. So let's say Claude. What is cyclosporiasis and cyclospora? I guess it causes something to come out of you that you would not want coming out of you. Diarrhea. Tissue. We've got 4 tissues. There's got to be more than 4 tissues. And we keep like having to go away from that for this. I'm going to have to keep this just in the background, yeah. So we also, what is this one? Tissue. Why are there only 4 tissues being described? I think we need to move forward with the module update, so that when someone starts learning, they can select a module, each of which have an introductory module that we have thus far already created. Synapse, metals, yeah, okay. This moves into learn to a real curriculum instead of a flat gallery, which give me all of them set at home. Match how we learn during a game. Yeah, that's what we wanted. All right, maybe I'm being unreasonable. Just do everything for me. Orbital insertion, mid. What is it doing? Like, how do you play this? What is it? I have no idea how orbital insertion works. Orbital insertion is confusing. I don't know what it's doing. It's like circular orbit. I'm trying to stabilize the orbit. How? What are you talking about? All right. So what else we got here? Yeah, we need more of those. Reality merge. I think that one's pretty good. Organs. We've got 22 organs. Okay, we've got 22 organs. 22 organs. However, they are all for the potato. I think every scale having a potato module would be interesting. Like, it does lean on the potato theme, but in doing so, it applies constraints that can help someone understand a variety of things, like the molecules in a potato, the atom, the atomic composition of potatoes, what solanine is, etc. There's introductory in the beginning, and it ends with potato. Ends with potato. All right, cool. I think the next time once I get to 10 episodes, I'm gonna just start streaming these and recording them at the same time. So we have organ systems, root, vascular. There's four of them. Are there only four organ systems? Are there only what's that? Are there only four organ systems? What's going on there? Okay. I think market trader needs more attention. The size of elements on the page is like too small. Elements are too small. Elements, buttons on the view are too small. We need to improve it. The actual graph is pretty sweet. We like that. 6. Okay. Okay, now we're on. We have organ systems, organisms. Corn, soybean, wheat, tomato, legume. There's no potato? That is actually insane. Organisms doesn't have potatoes or humans. What's up with that? The learn 10 times pass did not seem to make anything deeper. Give me one example because I can't find it. All right. Organisms, ecosystems. We have soil biome, rhizosphere, mycorrhizal networks, nitrogen cycle. All right. We got to revamp ecosystems. We need to revamp ecosystems. I think each should be a module, and we need more. There are not nearly enough. I don't know how well it's going to do. This might actually break the app because I'm asking it to do a lot. I'm saying make this the everything you can learn in one app. So crop rotation, cover cropping. Bottleneck, I think that's a good game, but okay. Bottleneck needs review. It is unclear to me from watching it how to maximize my score. That's like one of my litmus tests. All right. Irrigation, farm systems, composting. I don't know. I feel like farm system. I feel like we need to do research to get farm systems to be truly educational. I think there's some supply chain component in there that we want. No, we got that. That's the next one. I think we need to do research on farm systems to make that one better. Stock it right. Okay, stock it right. Stock it right. I need to understand better how this one plays out. All right, so we're about 1/3, 1/4, almost 1/5 of the way through of those ones. Supply chains. Supply chains, okay. Supply chains don't even include procurement? What's up with that? Supply chains don't even include procurement. Shouldn't we have a shouldn't we have I think the modules here need to break down the 5 to 8 stages, need to break down a lot more than they are. Like each individual module should have a lot for the user to go through. That my attention's splitting and it's probably causing issues. My dog's probably getting hot right now because I turn off the air conditioning while I do this. Reroute. Reroute. I don't understand how to maximize my score here. It doesn't look fun. 9. Okay, what do we have here? That one we just ripped apart. Supply chain, financials. Financials. Commodity market. There are so many better terms we can break down for the financials learn section. There's only 4. We want more modules than that. It would be great if all of these modules were teaching tools that teachers could use to keep students engaged. It shouldn't just be word vomit. We want engaging modules that that compel the learner to keep exploring. This is me just saying you're not doing enough. Do more. Do better. I'm basically a manager right now. We've got 3 planets. What did it say? Earth, Mars, and exoplanets. Earth, Mars, and exoplanets. We couldn't even get all of the planets. I know all of the planets in our solar system. It'll get that. Our sun, planetary formation, habitable zones, system architecture. We got solar systems. I think we can do a lot better on solar systems. What about the asteroid belt? What about the Oort cloud? We need to think in modules that can be explored in much greater detail. I'm thinking about it. I don't really have modules that, like maybe biology and the molecules one, that's like, I don't really have something that would be great for a doctor, like a learning path for one. This is just like general knowledge. We're not playing games right now. Galactic. We've got one galaxy in Galactic. We have one galaxy in Galactic. There is so much more here that we need to include, especially with modern astronomical techniques. That was not very helpful, but the cosmic web, filaments, cosmic voids, cosmic background radiation. I feel like we might step back into the abstract with cosmic structures. I've been skipping out on these games. Bonds. Bonds. Looks fun. I don't know how to play. I may need to review the manuals sometime soon. I feel like we might step back into the abstract with cosmic structures. I think what I want to do for all of these is just like have another section where all of these games get grouped together. So I don't have to, before I was like, let me sort them all S through F. And I think that's good for people who want to only use a certain subset of games for Explore the Cell when they're playing party mode, or if they just want to sort them for their own purposes. But for what I'm doing, it's a little different. What's this? Spiral arms? I don't understand spiral arms. It looks a lot like the other one, coherence or reality merge. 11. with cosmic structures. I feel like we might step back into the abstract with cosmic structures, uh, and explore those features of reality that pop up in throughout all of the scales, like the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, etc. Multiverse. Multiverse. I feel like for the multiverse, we want to explain more of the creators, myself's conception of the multiverse. This might draw scrutiny, but controversy creates cash. In my mind, there is a concept of the multiverse where there is a supreme being who has all things metaphorically in the palm of his hand, and but that being made in his image, we are being prepared for participating in his divine energies. But with all the pain and suffering in the world, a rational agent might consider that all of the pain and suffering is evidence for a wicked supreme being. I disagree here because there's enough limitation within my own realm of consciousness to conceive of a situation where all things which are bad, which appear to be bad, are experienced by the divine in some harsh way, similar to what happened to the carpenter, Jesus Christ, Jesus, on the cross. He experienced the penalty for sin, but in some ways, living through us, he may proxy the experience of others so that we may truly come to know his grace. Given this itself can appear dismissive of the pain of others, I think this multiverse theory makes the most sense if it only exists as a way to conceive, as a way to demonstrate that a lower intelligence such as myself can conceive of a universe where the pain is brought on the supreme agent, and it actually dignifies those people by saying God lives through them, and those that bring glory or force the critical thinking of others by we're getting really abstract right here. I don't know if anyone's going to be into this at all. Or force the critical thinking of others by considering the possibility that maybe we don't have the whole picture, but that we ourselves are reflective agents that can understand the pain we ourselves have caused others. Considering the possibility that we don't have the whole picture, but that we ourselves are, this is authorial version for the multiverse scale, the orthosome conception, which is exactly the kind of thing worth capturing verbatim before it evaporates. Your message also forced the critical. So let me preserve. Okay, considering the possibility that we ourselves are reflective agents, I can understand the pain we ourselves have caused to others, and that it is incumbent on us as we develop to take on the pain we've caused others for the rectification and participation in the divine nature of Christ. So yeah, I mean, like, he took on our sins, or like the punishment for our sins. So should we do that? I'm on board with that. I think that I say I'm on board with that. Like, it's like easy. So why don't I read my Bible more? Why don't I? But like, I think a lot of people have this conception of like the way things are supposed to be. Crop rotation. They have like this conception of like, oh, if you're religious, this is what you do. Like some people who like consider religion don't even register that fasting is supposed to be a huge component of many Christian practices, or that like a lot of Christians around the world don't conceive of everything that you read in the Bible as meant to be understood literally. So their conception, yeah, it's like, I think with the multiverse, it is this deep notion of, I think with the multiverse, it is this deep notion of relativism being encompassed by an absolute universal authority. Like, we can experience things relatively, we have to, but that doesn't mean that there isn't an objective moral agent that it's just like, but the logic, I that's really what it is, the logic, but the logic doesn't follow, but the logic doesn't follow that multiverse itself cannot be referred to as ultimately a greater universe. It's like nested Russian dolls. I think I would defer to other minds for these modules to discuss these matters, as I have my own opinions and takes and don't necessarily want to muddy this otherwise relatively stable app. I don't know. I don't know here. I think we need to do research for it, but try to keep it cohesive with the rest of the app. Galaxy merger is weird. I don't understand this one. Galaxy merger is strange. It looks like planets are being represented by. It looks like planets are being used to represent galaxies. Wrong. That's wrong. Portfolio view, one stock basket. What's going on in portfolio? Looks similar to market. Yeah, all of these ones, like, I think that's like the problem with this. I tune in to like 1 through 20, and then tune out and start yapping about God knows what. And then when I look back, I'm like, well, what is this one? And I try and improve them progressively, but I always start in the beginning. And it's my swerve. It's where I get things. I overemphasize things that don't maybe need as much help. Maybe they do. All right. Mesh of realities. Yep. Yada, yada, yada. Universe. Yep. This is the universe. I think we can aggregate and source a lot of the grander minds than mine for the universe conception. It would be cool to have those modules actually be more interactive and conceptual than necessarily learn what we have here because we know everything. It could even be a section for religions, exploring different religions through modules within modules. Like, what would the church fathers have to say about certain modern advancements? What about aliens? What do the Sufis have to say? And the Mesopotamians, the Samaritans, etc. All right. Companion planting looks fun. We might need graphics. So once I go through all of these, we're going to mark one of our things is done. Infinity. I think with Infinity, we just want it to be a really sophisticated module for calculus, including Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3, linear algebra, etc. I think Infinity is oftentimes most excitingly explored through math. Okay, structure formation. I have no idea what's going on there. 14. Structure formation. I have no idea what's going on there. So I think what we can do now while the rest of these go, because like we're going to continue filling this out, is like well, first we'll check, what is it? Let's check. Did we ask the question? Didn't we ask a question to, I don't know what I'm doing? Here we go. I don't know what I'm doing. This one we'll put over here. Two things that we had worked on recently. I say we. Two things that me had worked on. The dashboard. I worked on this one called, I don't know what I'm doing. I think this one's called Potato Skills. CD potatoes, potato skills, npm run dev. What? ls. What? CD business os, ls, npm run dev. You lied to me. ls, npm run dev. Excellent. Maybe we don't have those yet. I think it said localhost 4. What's this one? Supernova. That kind of looks cool. I don't know what Stellar Evolution's doing. I gotta write that down. Write that down. Oh, it looks like it's like a WarioWare type of game. 4330. Yeah, I wanted to make a, yeah, that's kind of ugly. So if you've ever seen skills.sh, if you're new to coding with Claude Code or any agent, maybe Cursor, Codex, I don't know what those ones are, but Skills is the open agent skills ecosystem. Skills are reusable capabilities for AI agents. Install them with a single command to enhance your agents with access to procedural knowledge. Like these top 3 ones, bangers. So Grill Me is probably hilarious. Lensing looks weird. I don't understand it. What is lensing? Lensing looks weird. And the, what mode? Attract mode looks like it doesn't know what it's doing. Continue. Yumatsu. Okay, so yeah, we made one, and it's supposed to be like the business models. So let's see. Okay, compose business. Let me just read each. Business model. Compose the money document of a business. Business model and metrics. A guided interview that locks how the company makes money and knows how it's working. Revenue streams, the actual offer, price table, pricing, philosophy, cost structure, and margins. Awesome. Yeah, we definitely want that. Instead of clearing a Claude Code session, journal it. Reads the current session's context and writes one beautiful structured blog entry for your future self. A recall hook so you can pick up the thread later on. I love this one. This one's a more custom version of that. The advanced form of yourself. Instead of recapping a session, adversarially review it. Hunt the shaky decisions, risky code, and anti-pyrants in the back and forth. Solar Storm. Solar Storm looks sick. I don't know what it's doing. Solar Storm looks sick, but I don't know what it's doing or how to maximize my score. All right. Go to market. 3 playbooks in 1 stone. A guided interview that locks acquisition channels, campaign structures and KPIs, the launch checklist, the sales motion. So I might want to just work on these individually. Compose the messaging and brand, what the company says everywhere it says it. So I like scoured the internet for like some high quality stuff that I know is necessary for like business documents. And that's what these ones are. Potatoes design is the one that I'll probably make a video on. So when to use it. The user says brand guidelines, brand book, brand systems. I think pest control is decent for now. Just yapping. Part of me is worried that I'm just saying the same thing every time I come onto one of these things. All right, I don't know what I'm doing. A parasite on the produce. Cyclosporiasis. And why it is a food outbreak and not a contagion. It's a microscopic single-celled parasite, a protozoan in the coccidian group that infects the lining of the human small intestines. Cyclosporiasis is the illness it causes. The name follows a standard pattern. The organism is cyclospora, and the iasis suffix means the disease of being infected by it. Compare giardia, giardiasis. How do you get it? Transmission is fecal-oral. You ingest the parasite in food or water contaminated with infected feces. In practice, that means fresh produce. Documented outbreaks traced to imported raspberries, basil, cilantro, snow peas, and bagged leafy greens. Thank God they did say potatoes. A defining quirk is that it is not spread directly person to person. When passed in stool, the parasite is an oocyst. A cyst containing a zygote formed by a parasitic protozoan, such as the malaria parasite. It needs days to weeks in the environment to mature, sporulate, before it can infect anyone. That maturation delay is exactly why cyclospora appears as produce in water. I should be watching these more. So there's a hive for the bees. It's got a deposit. So it got stung by a more violent bee. So we got to avoid those ones. It's just doesn't even care. Symptoms of cyclosporiasis. After roughly a week of incubation, watery diarrhea that is often prolonged and relapsing, weeks long, coming in waves if untreated, loss of appetite, weight loss, cramping, bloating, nausea, fatigue, sometimes a low-grade fever. It is easily missed on routine stool tests. Labs must specifically look for it. Special ova and parasite testing, acid-fast staining, or molecular PCR panels. Standard treatment is the antibiotic TMP-MX, trimethoprim, sulfamethoxazole, Bactrim cotrimoxazole, which clears it reliably where otherwise lingers. Endemic in tropical, subtropical regions. In temperate countries, it appears seasonally and via imported produce. All right, interesting. Why is cyclosporiasis spread through contaminated produce rather than from person to person? Because it lives in poop. It's shed in stool. All right. I'm satisfied with that one for now. Yeah, this is our potatoes org. We kind of want to like tidy these things up. The thing is, all right, so we just reviewed all of those, which is great. I wonder if this is just busy work or if I'm actually making progress. What am I doing? See the potatoes dashboard, Claude. Scales education reviewed is now 22 out of 22. S games. Party mode section is S ranked. So yeah, I can almost guarantee that it's not. Let's just let's play the. we recently made some big changes to the party mode. Hopefully, it rocks. Probably does not. So we're gonna play solo. So yeah, the time that I played with some friends, it only took 3 rounds before they got bored, and I was bored too. Like I was kind of like, this is risky. I don't have testers that I can like go to and rely on for these things. So that's one thing that I need to start looking for. I got to bring all the other characters in too. There's there should be 52 in here. So start game. Welcome to Down the Hole. It already is not doing what I wanted it to. This is supposed to be over here according to the new spec. So that might be because we're at 53 membrane gate. We can exit. Let's see if it's fixed over. No, it's still build. Okay, it's build 25. So there's something still wrong, or maybe it's because it hasn't deployed yet. Let's see. Pick this one. Nope. We got to do solo, host, start game, tap to continue. Oh, okay. It's just because it hasn't been deployed yet. All right. Void shield. Excellent. All right. So this actually does work, but let's get out of here. 52. We're just going to refresh. We just want to redeploy. And I think we're on 53, right? Yeah, 53. We'll keep this one going. It's probably building stuff right now, though. Ugh. So when we get into a safe spot to deploy, we would like to. Yeah, so this isn't going to be any better than it was last time. So I think what we can do is make drastic improvements to the UI on these games. Like, quite frankly, I hate all of these. I think all of these designs look so AI generated. And I mean, yeah, it's all AI. It's a lot of the stuff I'm working on is AI generated. But that doesn't mean it has to be so ugly, right? Like, this is at least like what I mean, this doesn't look good, but it's at least not, it doesn't look AI it doesn't look like slop. This looks like slop, if you ask me. Like, this one's not bad because it actually kind of, hello, add player. Next picks wheel count. We want one, start tournament. Heist, spin. Burnt. Let's see if this even works. 600, 1,000. All right, so we can start. I think maybe while these, what the heck's going on over here? Membrane gate does not look like it works. Membrane gate does not look like it works, but it looks fun and interesting. I like the notion of different embeddings and different visitors, but it is not desirable right now. It doesn't work. Ooh, I like Twitch. I think I know what this one is. I think it could be better. 19. I think for the Twitch game, we might want to just, at random points, change the path of the circle that goes within a threshold to keep the user on their toes. Otherwise, the game feels very boring, standard, the same thing happening over and over. All right, so that's for Twitch. So I think, like, if we can get maybe 22 over and over, that would be good. But what we can also do, I know it doesn't belong here, but we can do HPG game rankings. .md. All right, so the big problem with this, all of the games, the images for the games look very, we have to get it out of here because This keeps pulling the focus over. What's going on over here? Skin layers? This is similar to the other one. I mean, I think for tissues, it's going to have to be like this, where it's a bunch of these. But, oh, these are overflowing. 20. Skin layers. The different texts that are skin layers. There is a problem with overflowing texts. It is a big problem. Every single contained, every one suffers from it. So I think these are working. So what we want to do now is we just want to do code hot potato games front end. The thing about hot potato, since we're in hot potato games mode, any of those games can get it. Like all of them are up for, like we have to fix them. So how do we do that? Claude. Why is it activating Python? I don't know. There are a ton of issues with some of these games. Are you ready to work with me on them? First off, other than Saad Tori, all of the game's images look absolutely hideous. Second, once the games are clicked, other than Saad Tori, all of the lobbies for these games are pretty ugly. I will begin roasting them now, and you will begin composing specs for each game that we can use to revamp the image, to lobby 3, gameplay 4, graphics. Are you ready? We're not going to do Sadtori yet because that one actually is something that we have we want deep creative control over. Hypotonic, that game had to get fixed. It's too bad. Powerhouse, what's this one? Glycolysis, the Krebs cycle runs in the matrix. Tap to respire. Is it just tap, 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 tap? Okay, Powerhouse is just tap, 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 tap. 21. Powerhouse game is just tap, 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 tap. It's pretty lame. We need a challenge, something dynamic for the game to get more difficult as time goes on. Each phase, Krebs, electron transport, glycolysis, each of these call for a different mechanic, not just tap, tap, tap. Matsu. Okay. Okay, so we have that looks like a nervous tissue type. I think this one's not bad for now. I think it gets the point across. Yeah, this is going to be tough because this is just what the trivia looks like. How do we? I feel like that'll be the first step. We could just go one at a time here. We will go one at a time here. We can't revamp the game image until we revamp the gameplay because the game image will be a generated image that exaggerates some components within the game. Some essentials to improving the gameplay are better animation or better animations, i.e., animations in general. What the heck is this? Heartbeat is just a black screen. I think it would be cool as a time trial where you have to tap the screen. You have to double tap the screen and maintain a certain heart rate. It tells you what the current heart rate goal is, what your heart rate is based on your tapping, and then also, if you just start rapidly tapping or are arrhythmic, get penalized for not gradually increasing heart rate. I think that would be funny. All right, we'll go. Animations in general are more necessary than it might seem. We want to use potatoes characters, especially the ones that are colored in, as design references for different expressions that hosts and NPCs will play. On HPG, characters have their own VI potato, that avatar that they customize, but we want to flavor all of the games with our potato characters. So here is our trivia flow. I think, or Jeopardy. Here's our Jeopardy flow. We want to fix this up. This looks dumb. Body map. Body map looks dumb. Not sure. Has potential, I think. That's kind of funny. Where do these things go? That's funny. Okay, so here's our. Yeah. So we've got the game, we've got lobby, game, scam tactics. We also want much more potato. Also want much more potato-based packs, not just financial system packs. But that is currently beside the point. Oh, this game looks like it could be cool. We're gonna let that one rock. Not just financial system packs. This is currently beside the point. The current issue is it doesn't look like it belongs. We have this standard gradient rubber hose style animation background decals, and then these hyper AI generated looking AI looking images for the content. For all of our games, we want to lean much more into the rubber hose style animation. What we currently have is just very basic, uninspired web elements, and not even modern ones. They are all hideous. Games should also work and be responsive on mobile. this The problem is I'm not prompting these things well, and that is a huge problem for why the quality decreases so much. The thing is, we're going breadth first. We're getting a bunch of things out there, and then we're going to grow them all individually. We want to see them all start to come to life, and then when things start to get somewhere where it's like almost ready to be harvest, we dive into it. Digestive tract, what's this? Digestive tract. Looks interesting. Not sure if it's any fun. I think we're gonna leave it at this because it's getting really hot. I'm gonna turn that back on. I'm gonna keep going, and you're gonna see that a lot of this changes dramatically over the course of the next 2 months because, like, that is my goal now. We are in hot potato games mode. Most of these things were thrown together like maybe 8 months ago within like a 1 month period. I was like, let's try this, let's do this, let's do that. But now what we're doing is we're trying to drill down on the different like seeds we've planted. We're watering things. And although a lot of it's ugly, a lot of it doesn't work the way we want it to, we are getting feedback from ourselves, just being an adversary against our own takes on these things. And that's our plan. That's what we're going to do. Thank you for watching.